chance to look. I know you sent me that thing that I looked at it real quickly, and I saw that it's all there. That was interesting. But I didn't get a chance to look at the other parts, so we'll go over to Sifra that's new to finish up this part, and maybe then the next part says Vishariv Kula. So I'm going to talk about what the meaning of the seventh millennia is, but we're right now up at this phrase where it says V'nizgav Hashem Labado. Babir, what is this abbreviation? Oh no. Okay, so let's look at number Gimel. He says V'hindech b'maimer yistakef b'lechudoi. I'm in the. Did you say Sitra Akra? Babir Sitra Akra? What?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's that? What would be that? Babir Sitra. Huh?
Where are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. On page Tuf Kuf Laman Aleph.
Yeah, on top, Nizka Shemavada Bir Sitra Akra.
Sitra. Okay, I see that Sitra Akra, but how does it fit in here? Okay, anyway. So he said, this pasuk where you talk about Nizka Hashem Levado B'Yom Hahu on that day. Like Gra says, he has that language. Like it says later on, V'nizka Hashem Levado Ad Kan. B'targum Yonason, so he's just going through the language of Nizkav Hashem L'Badel, Escape Hashem B'Lechudui, Escape is Lashon, the same idea. B'hinei b'posik Zecha b'nimaz al halavaras hasitra achra v'haklipos min ha'olim la'asi devo. So they said B'nizkav Hashem L'Badel b'bir hasitra achra. So he says over there, beer, okay, I guess it means removal of the sitra achra. The Oz Yihya Nizgav, Yischazev, Yistakef, Hashem Labado Ba'olam. Ke'al Inyan Zera B'muba B'pasa B'kama B'koma, so we have this related in several different places. V'zora B'l'komon, let's say he says, so it said, V'zel L'shono, V'yis'ava Sitra Afra Mis'ava Min Alma, so that poison will leave the world, V'hu Itma, that says like the V'es Ruach Tuma, Aver min haaretz, I will remove that from the land. So we have all these ideas. Yishtayer kudsha b'brichu b'luchudui kamadek sebet zesebet elokeh elolim kalil yachlov cholof. I don't know, yachlov switched around. Because b'nizkav Hashem levadocha b'yom hu b'luchudui. So going through these different ideas is just going through the background on this idea. Ve'ini mohu kale or el nehar. Begin the yishtan secha v'chela b'sa'aver ma'alma, because it would be destroyed. He says because the chela, the power of the poison ma'alma. Below yishtar la'ela b'tata b'alakucha b'richu b'lechudoi. Adkan Ayin Sham became Ray Bezoar, so he says that he's telling you this is the fact. He said of Zel Lashono, the Bakuhu Kasiv, then all of these is written Al Kol Hema Chamaisa Atoyim Be'ez Pekudosim Ya'avedu. So what is Atoyim? Atoyim is Lashon, those who make a mistake. Be'ez Pekudosim Ya'avedu, they're going to be, I guess they're going to be pointed out and destroyed. When he comes to remove them from the world, so these are all different places where we could see this idea. So the Gedin calls Sitrin Achrona is Kafian, and all of them, I guess, will submit themselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Gedin Kuja Barihu Shalad Bilhudohi Loy Vatata Ilu Vatata. So Kamada Adama, like you say, like this, Vaziv Venizga Vashem Lavadel, Biomahu Ad Khan, etc. So also the Zohar, he says Osa Yom Yiflu Kol Hasarim and Malosam, all of the Sarim, all of the heads, I guess, from their high places. And this is written, but Nizgav Hashem Levado, Biyomahu, and that Hashem will fortify himself by himself in that day. Shosiyom Lo Yihyamah. There's not going to be Lo Yihyamah the Sarim. There won't be any elevation for the Sarim. The Sarim, I guess he means the other side. The call Indian Hurban Elif Ashivi, who Kedei Levaira Klifos Vaharam in Olam. So that's the reason why he wants to say that this is why this is going to happen, it's going to be eliminated. The Sifra Achmazel Lashono, Gam Zechaba Olam Sha'anu Bo. This is also the world that we're in right now. Who Haba Nifsid. It's going to come into a situation where it's going to be lost. And it will be destroyed too. The fish gam is but klipos, because he says in this world the klipos are going to become extremely strong. Even though let's read again. This gavru that becomes stronger the dinim of klipos. Whereas she'enim chazakim kol kach, but they're going to be all over the joint, but they're not going to be so powerful. We call Makom in any case, Kedei the virus called a klipos for a in the oil of the gamri. So in order to be able to remove them completely from the world, b'li yisach rachel b'lichav yapaktas, they shouldn't be remembered. Ubal yapakto ba'od la'oil, and they will not be, this word pocket, they won't visit the world anymore, they won't be in the world anymore. Yachzech b'kodesh baruch gam as olam azech the tohu abo. So this sounds very serious for all of us who are invested heavily in this world, because it looks like it's not going to stay around. Okay, so let's go to the next part. This seems to be going along the same vein. So he said, Vizcharev Kula, everything is going to be destroyed. Hurba Bahanhagas Lamaliosa. So what Hurba meant Bahanhaga? So the way the world works will be destroyed. Lamaliosa, but it's going to be for a good part, a good. Okay, got it. So this is our idea. There's going to be destruction and return to a situation where everything is empty. Shal Elef Hashvi Ambaka Pacific it's Niusakan, it says the Shivio, so he said the Ishar Kula, all of these words, the Chsid Choiso Tohuvo, Bjarna Bebira Mushulov, Al P. Divakariza, Al Be'etz Chaim, he says Shah Inyan Nidrash the Maliusa. So what is that? That's something good. She is Badlan Hagashem Ma, so he says it'd be an elevation, I guess. Maybe that means that the name Ma, we've heard this drush before. And Hagashem Ma shall Olam Hazeh, so Ma will stop operating in this world, will not need to be involved in the Bira process. V'yar v'yishlo ba'olam shem sag, and then what will happen is we'll shine, it will become uncontrolled. The name is Sag l'shono sham l'shono son. Sham l'ase l'vocha b'shecha yisukin kol b'chinas Sag. So in the future, when there's going to be a tikkun in Sag, which we heard this word, v'yik yucha b'kol malachim, and all the malachim will be revived. Yizbarah the Gamri, completely revived out of the klipos. Besod belacham avos l'matlam alam l'netzach. As Yachzer Shem Sag. So then what will come back is that the name Sag, which is really what developed into the Malachim, essentially that died, is Zaz Yachzer Shem Shabdikad Musach Malaso. So because the Shem Sag Yishlok V'Yar Ba'olam, so then it'll be in control. It'll shine in the world. And there will be no reason for Ma to exist anymore. That's what it means when he say that the world will come into Tohu and Vohu Kanizka B'Dibra Brazil, the most of Mashiach about that. Base Oro Shel Av and Sag, and everything will be controlled by Yak at Khan. Reba Arash Shem Ma. So Sham, so look over there in the what we said over there, Mashukuva Od Bazeh Ein Sham. We've seen that thought before. Now, let's keep going. So he says, top of page Kuf Lamed Bet. Derek then is Baragan Bebir Mashulu the Vira Groa. What's it? Groa say the Indian the Hurba Bakuchi is Harav on Huggers Olam Hazas. This is just saying this is what's going to happen. Again, they use the word on Huggers. Because Allah Olam the Han Huggers Abina, and there will be an elevation of the world. The world will go up into the level of Bina, the way that Bina operates. Ray Bibi Regroa, what the Groa says. If you say Olam Haba who episode Atara Shechozeres, it's the Atara. He says the crown Shechozeres, the Bina that comes back to Bina. Now, why use the word crown? I'm not sure. Oz Bina Shalta. That is when Bina will be in control, or will be. Okay, anyway, we'll leave it like that. V'kulam, all that, kol avalochem shemiz naheg bechem sheisha alaf yishana. So all of the malachim, he says, that are really working, are leading the shishas laf yishana. Chosen the bina the bata the beten imon. They go back into the womb, so to speak, to where from which they were gestated. Who sold Churban Olam Hazeh. When that happens, that's the destruction of this world. Shemisnageg Oz law that everything will be wrought in the way of pure consciousness, or greater consciousness of Ad Khan. So he said, look later on, there's a ha'ara on this. So this really has to do with the concept of the upper world being the leader or running everything. The bezech misparish inyan hurban v'chazara the tohu avohu shel elef hashvihi l'maliyusa canal. There's really an elevation. So just 1 second, he says a hurban chazara the tohu avohu. That was not the place. All of a sudden, okay, let's go on. I'm the mitzada olam agashri. When we look at this physical world, o haguf hatachton, or the physical body, the lower body. Misparisha in the Griusa, then you look at that, and that's not good, or that's not an elevation. That is the opposite. It's a lowering, a sinking. So that the churban actually means that physicality, our physical bodies, we won't be around. So the Rishonim that went on to about this, and I guess you're going to go into a little bit of this. So it's not such a good idea to make big investments in this world because everything going to be gone. So he says the Rambam. Now let's look at the Rambam. Ha'olam agashmi eine batel. So the Rambam holds that this physical world is not going to be eliminated. So Yisbatel means, it doesn't mean that it'd be eliminated, although you used the word Churban before. It's not going to be Mizbatel, I guess, be unusable or not usable, or I don't know. Okay, so let's see the Rambam. So Ha'im Yecharev Olam Agashmi Be'elav Hashvih, the Peshutos is quoting here. Das Rambam Sha'olam Agashmi Rubechu Nitzchi. It's everlasting. Below Yepsa Yips. So the Yipsid La'olam is never going to be lost. So he says, look at the Rambam. He's over there in Hilchos Tshuva. So what the Chachamim call the next world. It's not because it's not going to be found now. And this world will be, in other words, I guess that's what Matzue, I guess, means reality. That's going to be the reality. And this world is going to cease to exist, be lost. And then after that, this next world will come, and that's what it's going to be. But it's still going to be found. It's still going to be there. Or we are still going to be here. I guess he means this world. So I guess he says that you hid away for for those who fear you. That's the work you did, I guess. Velokarohu Olam Haba doesn't call it the next world. So let's see, so what? That life will come to mankind. After there's some kind of life that's going to come into people after the destruction, I guess, after the living of this light. In other words, I guess it means where we're standing like this. Now, I didn't really quite get the translation. It sounds like, well, he means to say that we're still going to be here, but there's going to be some other kind of energy, perhaps. He argues with him, and he says like this, Avraham. It looks like he's arguing on that part and saying that he denies that the world is going to go into Odo Uvo, but Kodesh Baruch Hu, Mechadish Shalom, and the Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to renew the world. That's what it said. That's the pasuk. He said, so it comes out there's going to be a new world or something new, not this world. Amnam Harambam, he says up in the time, the Rambam goes along why there should be a b'mora in the Vuchim. He said, "V'zel l'shonda ki Amram." She says, "Ki Amram shisha alfi shenin havi alma v'chad charav." That phrase that we're saying like this, ain't eder mitzias the gamri. It doesn't mean that you're going to the mitzias that we see now is completely and totally lost. Because it says one will be destroyed. I don't know what that means. He says it's showing us or teaching us about Hishayer Hazman. I don't know, leftover time or leaving overtime. Adkan. So here you're going to explain it. But what is that word? V'chad. Okay, v'chad. Is one of the 7,000 years. Because he says when you say years, right? So years means that there's time. It's still the time that we have in this world. Ein Shah. What he says over there, the kash over there, that he introduced over there in the Maram and the Nevuchim, Leil Sham, he said, Ki Rov Hamoninim Yaminu. So this is Lashon Amuna, it sounds like Ki Rov Hamoninu Yaminu. Shezech Bon Hagada Bo Shavishezech Ba'olav Yapased Kula. I don't get the translation. Ki Rov Hamanunim, those are pointed, Yaminu, will still be there. Huh?
Hamonenu is the common people, the
Hamonam, okay.
Common people.
So I guess he means the choice people. Ki Rov Hamanonim Yaminu. No,
the opposite, the common people, the regular people are not.
Rov Hamanam is the common people, Yaminu. Okay, so this world, he says, this world will be completely destroyed. He said, what to say about that? Huh?
The Agada in the Gemara, the story in the Gemara is talking about it. I think that's what it's talking about in the Agada.
Okay, over there where it says, I guess the world's going to be completely destroyed. I'll explain to you like this. It's not really like that. So he said, but many pasukim come along to clear the day, I guess, to bring the point home. Everything that comes in the simplicity of the thing, that it appears from this that this law that the world be lost. Shuhu marshal. So he wants to say that this is really just a marshal, Kamosha Levorad, Kan, Va'ayin, Ba'orech. So he goes over the Ayin Sham Ba'orech. So he said, V'rei b'sefer HaKedis Yitzchak. Shabir Inin Marshal B'zecha V'zel Lashon. So he wants to talk about what's trying to, the metaphor here. Olam Haganda was a Nikra B'pir HaChachamim Shabbos HaGadol. So the hidden world, which is the Chachamim called the Shabbos HaGadol. And that they put the length of that, or where it stands, according to what Hemshech Yemei Olam, the count of the years that we have. Erech Hayom HaShavi, so the relationship, or the Erech Hayom HaShavi, Im Shesh Shemei Maisa, in relationship to those, Gamosha Amro. So this sounds like a lot of gibberish to me so far. Shisa Alfi Shanech Harabe Amba Rabechad Charav, that phrase, Vachakavona, the Kavona is like this: Ki Be'edach Abishisha Chalofim Yimshach Hagavuros Hayetzer Ba'olam. This could be an extension of the Gavuros of the Yetzer Hara into the world. Ad Sheikri Hishtadlos Anoshim Yihyach Bebinyanu. So that the main thing that people will be doing, let me read it again. So that's our 6,000 years. So the main thing we're trying to do is the tikkun, I guess. But when you start in the 7,000, so what does this himel mean? So himel means it's lashon milah. Hashem levavam, Hashem will circumcise their hearts. Yihyach b'kol agavanaz as atzman, to build themselves up. V'la'azav v'olam charev, and to abandon this destroyed world. Ratzon shadach yipkedu b'cholav. So I want to say like this: yikpedu alav. They won't be strict or really careful about making their way in this world. They should be your will, that you should destroy your world, and then you should be incorporated in those. In your shpizin is lashon gas. I'm not sure what that meant. So I'm going to go on anyway. So he wants to say that everybody will take care of themselves. People become more concerned about perfecting themselves. So this will be like an individual thing where people will promote them, build themselves up, I guess. So he said, but everybody else considers that this world that we're talking about is going to be destroyed. So he said, "Evakol hamalachos, all the things we have to do, shovsos, they all stop. Ad gan, ein sham. V'chein b'bir b'orach b'drashas Ramban, al kehilas agohelas." He said, "V'zeh l'shon b'dilo, v'aretz l'olam omedes." Amar Rav Moshe Zal. Who is this? Har Moshe, Har Rambam. He says this is Rambam. He says, "Ki Shlomo Hamelach." Ya'amin b'kiyum ha'olam, he believed that the world will exist l'netzah forever, but ya'avid klal, never be destroyed. B'kayim Rav, so the Rambam holds like this: Kain shuhu emes, that's actually right. V'amar ki divrei of David HaMelech, Avi Yosef HaZakim, it was even stronger in the Sasha Amar Yasar Eretz Al Mechonecho, that the land will be Yased, will be reestablished on his proper position, Bal Talmud Olam Va'ed, so it's not going to shake or going to move out of its position forever. I'm sorry. That's it.